welcome to another After Work Anime Club podcast. I am one of your hosts, Lulu Soul. You can also find me on Twitch streaming and pretty much anywhere in the social media atmosphere under LUULUSOUL.
That sounds so professional.
Right? I'll never do it again.
I am Yami Brooke. I stream art and video games and coziness. Soon again on Twitch. The planned comeback is the charity stream on the 22nd. Until then, I'm working on it. and I'm mom.
Hi, I'm Salvatore Shark. I just confirmed our audio is working. I don't do anything anywhere. I watch anime and I play games. That's it.
And we love you for it.
Thank you.
You occasionally stream stuff on Discord to your friends.
I mean, does that really count?
If you're having fun and you're enjoying it, then it counts.
I don't know. That's the problem. Moving on.
Well then.
This week's anime was...
That's right. My goodness, so impatient. So tonight we are covering the Ancient Magus Bride. Oh, thank you, Evelyn. Evelyn says audio is good as well. But we are going to be covering the Ancient Magus Bride, and this was Salvo Sharko's pick. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the anime and why you chose it?
Sure. I'm not really sure how to describe it, so I'm going to let somebody else describe it. Let's see here. I'm just going to read this first sentence from my anime list, which is, Chisei Hattori, a 15-year-old Japanese girl, was sold for 5 million pounds at an auction to a tall, masked gentleman.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like anything about that.
Yeah, it's not the best descriptor, but it is technically true.
It
definitely happened.
It's also technically true that she sold herself, but I mean, it also felt a little bit coerced.
I mean, it was absolutely coerced. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Anyways, she meets a masked gentleman. He decides that he's going to make her his apprentice, and then he teleports her from Japan to London. Well, west of London.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's the brief description of the anime.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose it solely because people have told me for years that it's really pretty.
It is very
I knew
pretty.
literally nothing about the show going into it.
And what did you think?
Spoilers. I'm gonna watch the rest of it.
All right.
Oh, major spoilers.
So it passed the vibe check for Hatter. Okay, for Sharko.
I mean, haven't you both finished it in the past?
Yes, I did finish it. Yes.
Look, it may or may not have been an anime that I finished, got frustrated that it was finished, and then tried to read the manga. But then the website I was reading the manga on glitched or something, and I lost my place, and then I couldn't find the website again, and I was very sad.
Well, spoilers. Hey, it got confirmed for a second season.
Yes, it did. And so what we do on this podcast, and see, all the professionalism, it's gone. I did the one cool thing, and now it's not cool anymore.
What was the cool thing you did? I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
My introduction, it was smooth. It was almost like I'd rehearsed it or written it down or something. I'll never do it again.
Look, you're a mom. You can't be too cool.
That's true. That's true.
But aren't you cool?
No, I'm not cool at all.
We'll see.
I am so not cool.
Wait, no. We're totally cool, Yami, because being awkward nerds and Salvo Sharko, being awkward nerds, became cool in the mid 2000s. Felicia Day made a song about it and everything.
Okay,
I mean,
but
if you're really gonna go off a music video from the Guild,
look, I'm not Jennifer Lawrence awkward. I'm the main character from Watamote awkward.
I mean, look, the authentic the authentic thing is often different than the movie's never quite like the advertisement, okay?
Huh?
I mean, that's what trailers are for.
That's right. The movie's never quite like the trailer.
So anyways, the way the podcast works
Yes.
is we discuss the things we like and the things we don't like, and then we move on from there, and we're going to go off tangent about 17 times.
We really
Yes,
are.
and Hatter will bring us back.
Maybe.
And
Depends
while
on the tangent.
It does.
And while we're doing all of this, we are mercilessly judging whatever anime we chose to watch based off of the first 4 episodes.
I mean, the mercilessness really depends on who recommended it. I feel like I'm a lot harsher on anime that you guys pick than the ones I pick.
I am harsh or kind depending. Like, when I like an anime, I really, really like an anime. When I don't, y'all hear that too. And then
we're not subtle. Some of us are even less subtle than others.
But I do want to, like, emphasize on that note that just because we don't like an anime, we may mercilessly tear the anime apart. We may say this anime is absolute and utter trash and should not exist on the face of the earth. Even if we say that, if you watch that anime and you enjoy it, you are still 100% valid.
Absolutely.
Also, I don't think we've ever been that harsh.
No.
I think the worst got was this was incredibly forgettable.
The strongest, the weak.
Strongest age with the weakest crest.
Look,
Still
I
can't say
didn't
the
finish.
title.
That was back when we only watched 3 episodes per anime, and I could not finish episode 3. It was so boring. Oh my god.
Yeah,
But again, if you enjoyed it, that's perfectly fine.
If you like it, that's. There are people in this world that like Re:Zero, and I'm sorry. And there are people who liked Madoka
I'm one
Magica.
of the people who likes Re:Zero and Madoka Magica.
I'm sorry. Look, your opinions are still valid.
No, it's
I'm
all
learning all
right.
new things
It's
about you,
okay.
Yami.
I totally understand
I could
why
do-
someone would not like those things.
I could do an entire mini-sode on why I hate those 2 anime with a fiery burning passion.
And I would be here with you for it.
I mean, I've seen all of Madoka.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it, but I've seen it.
I've seen all of Madoka Magica, and then I've seen part of Magia Record because my daughter watches it. Magia Record has not caught me as much as the rest of it did. But we're not here to talk about Madoka Magica today.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to talk about the Ancient Magus Bride.
We are something much more pleasant.
So who wants to start?
Well, we normally start with things that we dislike.
But no, we normally start with like.
Do we? I thought we started with things we didn't like.
No, we start with the positives, then we go to the things we don't like.
Are you sure?
Last week we did it the way you just said, but like I thought that seemed off to me.
Okay.
Like it in any kind of criticism,
right, compliment sandwich.
I think that it should be compliments first and then what needs to be worked on.
Okay, so
yeah.
But
I mean, I don't think we ever hammered that down.
We don't have like a set pattern, but Lulu, I do have a criticism.
Yeah.
wait, we gotta hold on to it because I believe we all just agreed that we're starting with things we liked.
No, not for the show.
Oh.
You gotta update the bookcase.
I do. I haven't updated the
Oh,
bookcase in like 2 episodes.
Oh
I do. I need to update that. That shouldn't be too hard. Let's see. I can probably update it while we are talking. Wouldn't that be cool?
no! That would be so cool.
So
Are we
Yami,
cool
why
enough
don't you
for that?
start while Lulu does things?
All right, so things I like. Obviously the art is beautiful. When I initially watched this, my first time around, I watched. What? Okay. When I initially watched this the first time around, I watched it subbed, because that's what was available at the time. For this rewatch, I did choose to watch it dubbed just so that I could compare the two. I'm not a fan of the dub in this instance. I'm not a fan this time. He makes a point that they are west of England in London.
No,
They
it's
do
English.
not have accents at all. Not a single one of them. I don't like the way they pronounce his name.
How do they pronounce it?
Instead of let's see, in Japanese it was like a Arius,
Ainsworth.
Ainsworth, yes. In English they pronounce it Elias Ainsworth, and I'm like, ugh, I don't like that.
Well, for the
It's the
record,
same
I'm
words.
pretty sure Elias Ainsworth is the actual.
No, the spelling is the same.
The spelling is the same.
Yes, but the pronunciation, I think that is for England. That I'm pretty sure is the proper pronunciation.
That may be, but if nothing else is said in the proper English way,
Like I would accept it for Elias, but are you sure that about Ainsworth? I mean, it
Yeah.
just didn't.
Ainsworth sounds.
Okay.
I'm.
look, none of us are British.
Yeah, the only thing European about me is my
That's
heritage,
true.
and I've never experienced it. So
And that's assuming that his name was originally English or British.
I mean, it's certainly like it has the what's the word for this? Hold on. Etymology. There we go. Like, Elias Ainsworth sounds like it would be English or from that area.
So does this mean we were going with things we didn't like first, though?
Apparently we're just doing both.
All right, let's just do both.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yami, discuss the
Oops.
things.
I mean,
Tell
I'm
us all your
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yami
I
brings
have
up compliment sandwich, instantly starts talking about things she hates.
I started with things I like, and then just went
You
into.
said literally one thing you liked and then went into I don't like
and,
it.
and then. No, I didn't mean to. Okay. Back to things I like. Yes. I preferred the sub. Is where I was going with that. The art style is beautiful. The opening, I got this nostalgic feeling of like older anime with the beginning of the opening, and the art style, and the just her in the black silhouette not black silhouette, the black background. Yeah, and then it goes into it, like the song speeds up, and we get more animation, and it's just absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. Oh my god, her eyes! Oh my god, her eyes! Those big giant green eyes next to that red hair is just gorgeous. The fairies are beautiful. The king of the cats is absolutely phenomenal. Oh my god, she was beautiful.
I think that was my exact words to Lulu earlier.
Yeah,
was
that is
just,
a beautiful
"God,
cat.
That's a beautiful cat.
Yeah, she was gorgeous.
Mhm.
And I love that the king of the cats is still the king of the cats, regardless of gender.
Well, that's the second time that has happened so far in this anime, because we have the dragon in episode 3 that is referred to as him, but is both father and mother.
I noticed that, yes.
Of I don't know if it's of dragons and nature or of just nature. I don't remember exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, that was interesting.
and in the sake of talking about the dub versus sub, because I'm the same way. I watched it sub the first time around, and I'm listening to it dubbed. I do agree. I do like the sub better in this scenario. I will still continue watching it dubbed, though, because it's just easier for me.
It's easier. Yeah.
So,
No, I'm with you.
Salvo Sharko and I were actually watching it at the same time, but on different screens, and we were just in the same headset. And so Salvo was watching it in Japanese, and I was watching it in English. And one of the things I noticed is we would occasionally comment on a word or a phrase or a sentence, and it was almost always spot on.
or at least the meaning, like the intent was the same.
I think there was one situation, and that is when Chisei asks if
He loves
Elias
the world.
loves the world, and in Japanese there's a pause, and he goes, "Sure," but
It's like, obviously I don't speak Japanese, so I'm relying on subtitles, but it was a very tentative, very sure.
but in sub, he just
Or dub.
respond in the dub. Sorry, brain. He just responds with, "That's an excellent question," or "That's a good question," which is my personal favorite response to like anything that I don't have an answer for. Like if you guys ever, if anybody ever asks me a question and I respond instantly with, "That is an excellent question," it means I have no idea. I have no clue how to answer you.
That's fair. I prefer the magic 8 ball of answer unclear, ask again later. But I'm not subtle.
Bam. Quick
Anything else
question.
you want to throw out, Yami?
Say that
Go ahead.
again.
Did the background change?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge? Oh no. Did it really not change? Is it not there?
No. Is it under the other one?
Not that I. Oh, there we go. Okay, it just did.
Okay. Yay, magic!
Oh,
took
right.
time to
Sorry,
catch
delay.
up.
Yeah.
Magic!
Woo!
Y'all can't see it, but I'm totally noodle arming right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna bother me so much.
What? One of the words are upside down?
Ancient Magus Bride is the wrong way.
It is. Oh no.
It's
Literally everything else is the opposite direction.
Look, I ain't fixing it right now. I realized it
Look,
too.
I'm just saying I have a lot of critiques. Anyways, do you have anything else you wanted to throw out, Yami?
Let's see. I have a couple of in-betweens as far as if they're critiques or things I like. So I think... I mean, I find the whole idea interesting. And... This is difficult for me because I genuinely enjoyed the anime, but I also have a lot of critiques.
Really?
Not really critiques. Again, like it's not
Comments?
they're not comments. So like not necessarily stuff that I like, but not really things that I would necessarily change, just comments. So
Okay.
I think I'm done with my absolute these are the things that I loved. Yeah, the art style, the just how beautiful it is. And the music is pretty.
Yes, yes.
And then I have further comments after we do our critiques.
Okay.
I understand. Apparently, we need a new section, which is just none of the above.
Right, because like I feel like there's a lot of that. Like this isn't like things that I straight up I loved this, and then things that are like yeah, maybe shouldn't have done that, and then just things that are like I mean, neither,
choice.
just interesting.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's fair.
Lulu, what about you?
So, this anime makes my heart sing.
Okay.
I know that might not make a lot of sense, but between the opening and the artwork, the music in general in this, the background, like it's so refreshing. It is so refreshing to see such a serious based anime have bright colors.
Yeah.
Like, thank you, whoever decided that. Like, it is so much easier to look at something with bright colors than it is looking at something with a darker color scheme. And the opening just... There are certain songs that within the first 2 notes, you're hooked on the song.
Right?
And off the top of my head, like if I like, I know there's more of them, but off the top of my head, it's the opening to the Ancient Magus Bride, the opening to Yuri on Ice, and the opening to Escaflowne.
Mm-hmm.
There are others. There are absolutely others, but those 3 are the ones that pop into my head of just like all of these emotions and thoughts and feelings and just every single time. It's one of the few openings I will watch that opening just about every single time.
Mm-hmm.
It's also nice to see a redheaded main character.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
I think Ancient Magus Bride actually landed at the same time as both Snow White of the red hair and Yona of the Dawn. So we had like a trio of badass red-headed main female protagonists. Which was also really cool to see. Also, I have watched all of the anime, and I have read a little bit further than the anime and the manga. So it is really interesting now to be going back and watching it in English, and I'm picking up on a lot of things that I missed the first time around because of information I just didn't have, and it's really exciting to see those tidbits being there.
Okay.
I do have a counterpoint, though, Yami, with your they don't have accents thing.
Okay.
2 things. One,
I think I just realized it. Okay, go ahead.
okay. One, just from a, if I were in the voice acting world, personally, you either need someone who can hit those accents 100% spot on, or you need someone who actually has that accent to do the accents. Otherwise, the slightest wrong can be just destroy everything, I feel like. So accents in general are difficult.
Yes.
But I think the main reason none of the characters really tend to have accents is because the entire show is more or less viewed through Chise's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Because as far as we know, at least in the first 4 episodes, I think beyond, she has only ever spoken Japanese. And now all of a sudden... Huh?
Yeah. I was about, yeah. I like, as soon as you started saying something, I think I realized something, but go ahead.
So like she's flawlessly communicating with all of these people who, I mean, they're in episode 3, I think, Salvo, you pointed out they went to freaking Iceland.
Yeah. Mind you, they weren't talking to people in Iceland.
They were talking to a people in Iceland.
Yeah, who's older than Ainsworth.
Your point?
They probably know a couple languages.
Still. What did you hit on, Yami?
But the neighbors know who they are.
Okay. Sorry, I had to mute there for a second. We
You're
were
fine.
talking about outside cats. So I only halfway heard what you said. But I think we're going in the same direction of thinking that there is a magical perception filter going on.
Yeah, that's basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know why it didn't occur to me before, but then I was like, wait, duh, of course. Yeah. So yeah, no, I can hand wave the accents now that that has been made obvious.
I understand why, language wasn't brought up. Because it's not really important to the story. But, a 1 or 2 sentence conversation of just,
Like,
hey,
why can I understand
everything?
you?
And just, I use magic. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
And then I wouldn't have even thought about it. I'd been like, oh yeah, duh. But
Look.
I mean, coming to the conclusion on our own is also, not trusting your audience to figure things out. We got there. It took me a moment, but I got there.
But also, like, okay, our main girl, she has been episode 1, she is trying to unalive. And that gets
Yep.
interrupted by this dude
Yep.
going, "Hey, if you don't value your life, why don't you give it to someone who does?" So
Why not
she
sell
finds,
yourself into slavery?
yeah.
Yeah.
And on this same exact day, she finds out that tons of different mythological creatures she's only ever potentially read about in storybooks not only exist, but think she is a mythological creature that she knows nothing about. Then this dude pops up. His head is a freaking skull, and he's like, "Hey, this is mine now." And they're like, "Yes, sir. Would you like some more, sir?" And then he teleports her to a different country, takes off her chains, and is like, "Hey, you're my apprentice now." Forces her into a bathtub non-sexually. And then, after rescuing her from fairies, which again, she just found out exists, he's like, "By the way, I would like you to be my..." I don't think language is something she's concerned about.
Hey,
Right.
fast.
Like,
It
there's a
was-
lot going on.
It was pounds, right? 5 million pounds?
Something like that, yeah.
We assume so. Like,
Well,
I remember
on the-
I
it was
remember
on
the
the-
number 5 million. I
Okay.
don't actually remember.
Just as a
What
point of
it
reference, right now, that would be about $5.6 million.
Yep. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So anything else you want to throw out, Lulu?
I'm a big fan of, I don't know if he actually says this in Japanese or not, but in English, Elias's number 1 comeback is "Go die."
Just die.
Just die.
Like, I don't remember. I don't remember. Does he say shine? I don't remember.
If he does, it's not subbed that way. It's mostly "you bastard."
You bastard. Okay, yeah, in
Ah.
English it's "Go die." And he
Right.
says it.
I'll have to look later. Like, if I hear it, I'll know. But
Anytime somebody ones up him in a conversation, his response is to
Die.
mutter "Go die" under his breath. And it's so just like nonchalant when he does it. Like, there's no malice in it. That
Yeah.
being said, Hatter, I believe it is your turn.
So, I am the only one here who has not seen the entire series, although I will be rectifying that within the next week, because it's very good
yeah.
so far. Lulu, I have a question for you before I get into this.
Okay.
You said you thought I wouldn't like it.
I did. I did not think it was going to be your bag of tea.
Why?
One, it gives off a lot of minisode slice of life vibes.
Okay, I can see that.
And 2, it does deal with a lot of very serious topics. We mentioned one of them earlier in the episode, but this anime, just in the first 4 episodes, we have watched a character who is
Attempted Sudoku.
is extremely depressed in multiple different ways, has been abused by the majority of people
Their
in
family.
her existence.
Watched their mom commit
has
Sudoku.
the exact same background as Asuka's mother. Full Evangelion reference there. If
You're
And Kyo's.
and Kyo's, look at that.
Yay!
Like, I don't remember how Asuka's mom
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
did Sudoku.
Amelia trauma.
But Kyo, like, the little bit that we get, it was very similar.
Sweet, sweet family trauma.
Yep.
So it basically, there's in the midst of the magical fairies and the talking skulls and the magic and the comedy, there is a lot of very, very serious issues being covered in this show.
Yes.
Yeah, there really are. Oh boy. That was only 4 episodes in. But you know,
Yeah.
when your show starts with the main character selling themselves into magical slavery. Yeah. So, obviously, Lulu and Yami both said it. Animation is gorgeous. It's so freaking pretty. I think that was my most common thing I said in the first 4 episodes.
You didn't even get to the first 4. You got to like the opening and you're like, wow, this is really pretty.
I know, right?
To be fair, I've heard the opening a lot, but not this version of it. I've heard a cover of it.
Was it Amelie's?
No,
Oh.
it was Caleb Hiles.
Oh, I liked his version too, but I really love Amelie's version.
You love everything about Amelie.
But she is my queen.
Yeah, we've been over this. Anyways,
Now, Caleb is great too.
the opening's really great. The animation is gorgeous. I love all of the little mythical creatures, and if you know things about fairy tales and mythos, there's
Never
a lot of
trust a
stuff
fairy.
you can identify way before it happens.
Yep.
Like seeing the fairies.
Yep. Yep.
Now,
Yep.
I don't know when my dislike of fairies started, but I don't like them. And when fairies ask you to go on a walk at night, don't do it, folks.
Don't do it.
Nope.
In general, don't listen to fairies.
Whether or not I like fairies depends, but never trust a fairy. Ever. Never trust a fairy.
Anyways, moving on.
Yes.
Things like seeing a lizard in the fireplace and going, oh, that's probably a salamander.
Yeah.
You know, just a lot of little like references like that. I loved all of that. I like that all of Ainsworth's associates just don't give a shit. They just stand up to him with no hesitation.
Yeah, like there's the people who obviously I used people in a loose term, but
Yeah.
there's the people who know of him, and then there's the people who know him, and
you
the
can
people
tell
who
the
know
difference.
of him are like, oh, it's him, he's here, what's he doing? And everyone else like, hey, you suck, what you doing?
It really is, though. Let's see here. We get his artificer associate. I think Angelica.
Angelica.
Angelica, yes.
She just literally calls him a bastard multiple times. Asks if he's
Yep.
done anything untoward. And then
Punches
gives some
him.
Shit about it. Punches him.
Yes.
Uh,
Punches
you
him
have
and kicks
his-
him out.
You have his priest friend, Simon, who
Yep.
again just doesn't care.
Dumps on him the entire time and then is like, he makes the best medicine.
He's so good. Oh yeah, by the way, I need you to do some things for me.
Yeah. Also, could you take care of these, please? Let's see here. We've also got
Also,
the.
he uses his face.
I mean, it's a variant of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We have the dragon mage, Lyndall,
Yeah.
who's just like, yeah, wow, you really suck at protecting your apprentice.
Yep.
You should really be better at this.
Yeah,
To which he says, die.
go die. Fun fact: it's really cool. Like I've owned. First off, I want to make a Evelyn. Yes, never deal with the Fae. I see your comment. So Lyndall
Oh, I should bring the thing back up.
is the name of my con crush when I was a kid, when I was in high
Oh.
school.
Yay?
I've
You?
only ever met that one individual named Lyndall. So when I was watching the show and I hear that came up, like a lot of memories came rushing back.
Oh my.
Okay. Fair enough.
So
There's a couple of names I hope I never hear.
oh,
but yeah.
I definitely did not mind hearing the name.
That's fair.
It's a big
But
old
let's see.
story. I'll tell you about it later.
Me?
There's a lot of really, really pretty stuff, and like
Yes.
our main character is so damaged.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I
Yeah.
said this to Lulu earlier, and it was literally, I'm surprised she's alive.
I mean, she was working on that, but yeah. no,
but
I
like,
feel ya. I
expected
feel ya.
more.
Yeah.
There is a TikTok. There's a TikTok trend, a TikTok trend going around right now, and it's a sound that goes, "Oh, it's adorable," and it's something adorable on screen, and then like a second later it goes, "Oh, it's emotionally damn," or no, "Oh, it's traumatized."
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
our main character Chise is, oh god,
Mhm.
oh boy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brief other thing though before we move on to dislikes and comments though. I appreciate anytime the animation gets very silly. Or
Yes.
his face becomes very
Yes!
smooth
Oh
and,
my god.
smooth and silly
Yes.
shape. I appreciate those brief moments of levity.
Mm-hmm.
They help
It's
because
important
you're
in an
God.
anime like this. Yes.
I
Oh.
honestly, in general, I really love how this anime handles the subversion of expectations and how it just flows almost effortlessly through serious and comedic.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like-
Okay. Nope, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, like, it knows when you need the break.
Yup. Yup. Because all serious all the time. Oof.
It gets exhausting.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
does.
it does.
It leads to some hardcore burnout.
Mm-hmm. So you need a laugh here and there. You really do.
Yes.
I was just gonna say I don't really have any dislikes about the show so far. I definitely have comments, but like
Yes.
I don't really have anything that, like really that I disliked. It's a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are some, just let's go move into general comments then. What are just some things you noticed, just general commentary?
I mean, first off, it's been 4 episodes. Teach her something.
That
This
is,
your
yeah.
apprentice / wife.
Yep.
Teach her something.
No, we're not going to teach her anything. We're just going to throw her straight into a cleansing.
I mean, that actually, I did appreciate the simple fact of like, well, why don't you do this? I'm not really compatible.
Yeah,
Fine. That's fine. But
No, I
but
like
to
that
have not
because it
taught her
made
anything
sense.
before then, I mean, we're talking about the end of episode 4.
I do like that he at least admits that. He's like, so I know I haven't actually
yeah.
taught you anything yet, but we're gonna do this super dangerous thing.
I mean, to be fair, they're also on their honeymoon.
But
Just-
they haven't.
So,
Okay.
like, he keeps calling it that.
Yeah, you have to get married first, bud.
And
Yeah.
there is a reason for that, but that is part of the foreknowledge, future knowledge. There is a reason he acts the way he does in these situations.
Well, yeah.
And I don't
I'm
think they
sure there
cover
is.
it in the anime. I don't remember, but I don't think they cover it in the anime.
Yeah, I don't remember it coming up in what I saw.
It's okay. We'll get to it in season 2.
Yes. But yeah, I'm sure there is a reason. And I'm sure it's an interesting reason.
But right now it's just
I'm
weird.
Yeah, and like here's what I find interesting and appreciate, but also question, is the way she is continuously given an illusion of choice. And I am curious and want to know how much is a choice for her and how much is not a choice. He's discussing the whole apprenticeship with her and how he wants her to do it, and she's like, so can I just not? Like, I mean, I'm bought and paid for. Are you saying that I can just do whatever I want? And he's like, no,
No,
but
you're gonna learn magic. It's just
but I want you to want it. It's
Well-
like, okay, so illusion of choice, got it.
and see that
Well,
came across to me like you get to choose what you do with the magic I'm teaching you.
Mhm.
But no, you can't just like I spent a lot of money here. You can't just leave
Yeah.
my house. You gotta
Yeah.
You kind of gotta
like
stay.
there's a certain amount of, yes, you do have choice, you do have freedoms, you do have privileges, but at the end of the day, yeah, you're going to be my apprentice.
But
I have theories to that.
being his
Uh-huh.
wife seems to be optional.
Yes,
It's
yes,
implied that it's optional. Because
He-
at the
he
end of the
did-
first episode, he says,
he
I
did
hope
heavily
to make
imply
you my
that.
bride.
Yes, like I would like to make you my bride. I would like that. I would like that to happen. That definitely seems to be more of an option than the apprenticeship.
I have a theory about the apprenticeship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this might get confirmed, I don't know, but they kind of bring up towards the very end of episode 4 that she's going to die in 3 years.
Likely within 3 years,
It's
yes.
very likely that she'll die in the next 3 years. And
If
so
she
my
doesn't
theory,
control her powers.
Yes.
exactly, and so my theory is you have to learn this because otherwise you will die.
Yes. That's part of it.
But again, I'm the only one who hasn't seen things.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'd say that's pretty spot on from what I remember, though.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Like that's pretty much yes. But also like I don't know how much more there is to it because again, like I felt like there was a lot that we didn't find out by the end of season 1. And we're just now going to get season 2.
Well, we're
and I
starting.
never-
We announced season 2. We don't know when we're gonna get it.
Yeah. And I did not read the manga, any of it.
I honestly might.
Yeah, and I mean, I would be here for it. I have limited time. From what I hear from people who have read it, referencing people who call this a Beauty and the Beast anime, they're like, haha, no. And I'm very interested to find out what they mean by that.
I mean,
Because I don't know.
yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
depending on how literally you want to see it translated, not translated, but how literally you want to take the phrase, I can understand where that concept came from of it being a Beauty and the Beast thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can see
Yeah.
where that idea came from. Also,
Right.
we have been given a tentative date of spring 2023.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
There's a manga I am trying to remember. Sorry, it involves a magical marriage.
Okay.
The best kind of marriage is magical.
I mean, if it's true love, all marriages are magical.
Yeah.
That was corny.
I don't know if you're quoting something or not.
I wasn't. I was just throwing something out there.
I found it. Oh, that makes me
Okay.
happy.
What
Yeah.
was it?
It's called Magico.
That is awfully close to the anime I refuse to admit exists.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know anything about that, but there is a very good manga called Magico. I've read all the way through twice now.
Yeah.
I
Is there-
will have to send it to you at some point.
Is there an anime
You know, with your
attached to it?
abundance of time. God no.
Oh,
I wish.
sad face.
It's not an incredibly long manga though, but it's very good.
Okay.
Anyways, moving back to Magus Bride.
Yes. So another interesting thing along the heavier stuff was the plotline with the dragon.
Oh boy.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
Hey, remember that time you found out dragons existed, you met an ancient one, and then he died all in the same day?
While you were in
And
telepathic communication with him.
And he and everyone else were really happy about it. And you weren't sad, you were jealous? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's
Yeah,
traumatized.
Like oof. That hit pretty close to home.
man.
With some feelings.
Look, you know, here to talk about stuff if you want to.
Yeah. I mean, like, I won't go too deep into myself, in this podcast, but, yeah, no, I felt that. especially at certain points in my life. I felt that hard, and especially with just how serene the dragons were about it. Like, it's not that they necessarily look forward to death, but that they don't fear it. They welcome it. It's them going home. It's them returning to the earth. It's part of life. Yeah.
Did that make it easier for the rest of us?
No.
No, that was a very
absolutely
emotional
not.
scene, no matter what, right?
It was. But then, like, he calls her out, though. He's like, do not envy. The living should not envy the dead. Like, he is like, no, Nick, you need to live your life so that you're ready when it's time to end.
Yeah, that was one thing I really liked about it. He was like, hey, look, the reason we are able to celebrate the way we do is because we live our lives to the fullest.
Yeah.
And you know what? I am 32 years old now, and I still don't know what that means.
Which part?
To live your life to the fullest. Like, I used to think it meant to, go out and do things and have adventures and have experiences. And now I'm not so sure.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Like, it's hard to know what that is. And I think it's different for each individual person, too.
There's a lot to unpack there.
What about you guys if you're watching this at any point? So whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it after it's already aired.
Leave us a comment.
Yeah, what do you think it means to live your life to the fullest? What does that mean to you personally?
Because, like, I know, like, the theoretical answer, but, like, it's not I don't have a real answer for it, which is,
right.
Live without regret. But
yeah,
we're humans. We're designed to regret.
Yeah. And I think, from my perspective, what it means for me is something that we've talked about before. If you want to say I love you to somebody, say I love you. If you want to set aside time for the things that you want to do, that you cherish doing, and don't waste time trying to do everything. Don't focus so solely on just surviving that you don't enjoy the things that you do enjoy and the people that you enjoy doing those things with. And while we should work on certain complicated relationships, I think there's a line for some where you have to recognize letting a toxic relationship go, whether it's a friend or family member or lover or whatever. If the work isn't being put in on both sides, it's...
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and we talk a lot about, or we don't talk a lot about, but you hear a lot about the idea of forgiving and letting go and things like that. But that doesn't always necessarily mean letting someone who's hurt you back into your life.
Yeah.
And this can even be the case for friends. It doesn't have to be the case necessarily for family members or romantic partners.
I have some strong opinions on forgiveness, which I will not put here.
Well, if you want to, share them.
Sometimes it's not about forgiving the other person. It's just about moving on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's fair.
So, it's hard to give up those feelings that this person hurt you.
Yeah.
Sometimes pretty badly.
Yeah.
And you're not sure that you'll ever move past that. And so sometimes it's better to just go, you know what? Yeah, maybe it's time to just move forward.
Yeah. And sometimes that's all you can do. Like, certain people who are not in my life anymore, I wish no ill will towards them. I would really like them to get the help that they need, that they so obviously need. But as far as our relationship together, there would have to be some extreme changes made and proven before I would be willing to move forward with any kind of relationship with certain people ever again. That being said, I also have regrets about digging my heels in about relationships, like the relationship I had with my brother, and how, looking back on our lives together, a lot of the animosity between us was fabricated and not either of our faults. But I held on to grudges, and I held on to my stance, and I didn't change that way of thinking until much later than I should have, while I was putting a lot more energy into the person who fabricated that animosity between us. And I will forever regret that. But I mean, it's a thing that I have to work on with myself, and that some of the things I have to forgive myself about. And that's a hard thing to do. It's not just difficult to forgive other people, it's extremely difficult to forgive yourself. And that is another part of I think, living your life to the fullest, is allowing yourself to forgive yourself so that you can move on.
Yeah. And then sometimes, I think this has been a lesson I had to learn. It's not even about like someone who needs forgiveness so much as understanding that sometimes a relationship just doesn't exist, no matter how much you want there to be a relationship there. Sometimes it's just going, okay,
this isn't happening.
This isn't happening. And just accepting that and moving on. Like, you might not hate them, you might not dislike them, you might not have anything that needs to be forgiven, but there isn't.
Yeah, there's no compatibility. There's no, it's not working. And that happens. Yeah.
And so there's also a brownie in this anime, and she is absolutely adorable. She has cottagecore dreams, does not speak, and takes care of the household like a mother hen.
An adopted main character.
I heard brownie, and I'm like, what's a brownie?
So a brownie is a lot to unpack here.
It's a fairy from European folklore that is known to basically adopt a family, and they will kind of come into your house and clean your house for you. Have you ever heard of the Shoemaker and the Elves?
Yes.
Those are brownies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Now, traditionally, they are described as incredibly ugly creatures, and that is not the case in this anime.
It's obviously not the case with Silver. She is gorgeous.
I find it interesting. He calls her Silver, but he also says her name's Silky?
She is a Silky. She's a Silky elf.
Oh, okay.
But her name is the Silver Lady. Or something like that.
Hold on. I'm going to consult the
Yeah.
internet.
Go for it.
No, that's season 2. Where's season 1? How did I find season 2 but not season 1? Season 2 doesn't even exist.
Right.
For the record, on the
Everyone's
website,
talking
she is
about
credited
season 2
as
probably.
Silky.
Say that again. What?
On the website, she is credited as Silky.
What? I'm so confused. Interesting.
Anyways, lots of
Yeah,
unpack
sure.
all over.
Mhm. Yeah, he's like, I don't think of her as a servant. She's more like my landlady.
It's her house.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk
yeah.
about the house?
The house is so cute. I want that bathtub.
Okay, one second though. According to fandom.com wiki, Silver Lady, more commonly referred to as Silky, is a former banshee that was transformed into a Silky with spoilers. And a Silky is a type of
The
brownie.
spoilers beforehand, Lulu.
Huh?
You're supposed to say spoilers before you just announce her entire character arc.
I didn't.
You're folklore. Or wait, are you talking about the character or are you talking about folklore about what she's based on?
I mean,
I'm confused.
technically both, because I think the Silver Lady is a lot like Jack-o'-lantern and other fae that
Okay.
have an actual, like, title.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
But I stopped before when I said spoilers, that was me stopping before spoilers actually.
Before actual spoilers. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Also, her English voice actor's name is Rachel Glass. I didn't know you needed a voice actress for a silent character, but that is one of the coolest names I've ever seen.
I mean,
She makes a couple of like little sounds, but yeah, she doesn't actually speak. Also, is she related to Caitlin Glass?
That is more effort than I would be willing to put into searching
That's
that.
okay. That's all right.
So anyways, I started blasting.
So Yami, what was have you covered all the comments you wanted to make, or did we tangent? I don't remember.
Oh, we did
got-
tangent a lot.
We got
Okay,
pretty
so
hard
we
off.
talked about the dragons. And she's gonna come back and use one of those branches for her staff too. Like that's gonna be exciting. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, we talked about her illusion of choice and where she does have choice and where she doesn't. We talked about the dragons and her really wanting to play Sudoku. Yeah. And just her. You touched on it earlier about how she thinks she's nothing, and she thinks she's less than nothing, that she's a nuisance, that she's a burden, that she is something so horrible and awful, but in this world that she's been thrust into, she's seen as valuable and interesting, and he makes a great point that, hey, I spent really good money on you. You should value yourself as much as I do. And that's a weird way to put it, but it was also, in a way, really sweet.
Well, I really
well,
liked the phrase, "You're my apprentice. You're my family now."
Yeah, that too.
Well, yeah, that was
Yes.
before we found out about the whole marriage thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a specific line he says in the first episode I'm going to try and find, because I really appreciated it.
Also, he calls her puppy, and I'm not sure how I feel about
Yeah,
that.
that's still weird every time.
Yeah.
I mean, he did give her a collar. Like, you're supposed to wait until at least the first date for that, right?
Oh my.
Technically, she came with
He
one.
took. Yeah. She came with a collar. He took it off.
Well, yeah, and then he gave her one.
Oh, and then
No, he gave
the
her a
stone.
bell.
The
stone.
necklace.
Yeah,
No, he put the stone
necklace.
is the bell on, because he specifically, at least in English, he says something about her collar having a bell on it.
He did.
oh,
I don't
I
remember
found-
that.
I found the line.
Oh.
What's the line?
It's specifically when she says, I have never once felt fortunate. It's, then let's see to it that you feel fortunate someday.
Yes.
I love that line, because it's It's not that your struggles are irrelevant. It's, well, I
Yeah.
hope that at some point you feel better.
Yeah.
Also,
Or
Also-
like, and he didn't try to make it sound like, yeah, all of that stops now, or I'm going to fix everything or anything. He makes a very reasonable suggestion that I hope that you have things to feel fortunate about in the future, and that's great.
But also, like, I own you, and you're gonna be my wife.
Yeah.
about that.
Yes.
Like I said, there's a lot of mixed tones here.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
yeah, go ahead.
we already brought up a little bit earlier that in the first 4 episodes, he hasn't taught her any magic.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
We've had a lot of other characters comment on her being a sleigh beggy.
Mm-hmm.
We've had the fairies comment on it. We've had the other mage comment on, like, people like to throw that around consistently, but the Elias kind of hasn't. Like, it's been theoretically in world time, I would say it's been like maybe a week, roughly, or if not a little longer, since she started living with him, and he has yet to try, and if I'm correct, I don't think he ever does try to utilize her powers, her sleigh begginess, for himself.
No, it's entirely been for her.
Yeah.
And it feels a lot like, this is actually, my memory's a little foggy here, but I'm pretty sure this is one of those anime that the reason you start off with such a damaged character is, I mean, usually, like, she's technically starting out where most fairy tales end, right? You have the character that's been through hell, that's just at the very bottom, and then they're rescued and they're taken to a happy family, and then it's, happily ever after, except trauma doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And it's not working that way in the anime, because here she has, she stated when she was on the way to the, I guess, the auction house.
The auction house.
When
Yeah.
she was asking about the type of people that buy people. Had to,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Yeah. Like, I don't deal with pain well.
And they're
It's like, yeah, why do you care? You wanted to die, right? And it's like, yeah, but I still don't.
Yeah, she's
don't-
like, I
yeah.
want a place to call home. And she has that now. She has a
Yeah.
bed, food, clothing, comfort, safety. But she's not magically cured.
No.
I do appreciate the brownie just adopting her, though, and going, this is mine.
Oh, yeah.
This is mine.
Oh my god. Yes. When the one
Just
guy
leans
was
over the
over.
couch.
When
and
the
she's
priest goes over.
Yeah, she just
she's
leans over
like-
the couch and wraps her arms around her
Yeah.
and just, this is mine.
Yep.
I'll
Yep.
cut you.
She doesn't like him either. Like, Elias specifically is like, no. He's like, your housekeeper doesn't like me. She won't even let me inside.
There was a slightly different tone of that with the sub in it, that it was like, nobody likes me. None of your servants like me.
Oh.
Huh.
Well.
But to be fair, he's a priest.
Yeah.
He's an
By the
interesting
way,
priest.
And
But
we've
yeah.
been going for 70 minutes.
We have.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
There.
I mean, I'm
And we
good to
didn't
go.
even get the dog. Like, I looked ahead and I'm like, oh man, the dog comes in episode 6 or 7 or something.
It's
Oh, I
okay.
don't-
I saw him in the
Oh,
opening.
yes.
The dog is
Oh
such
my
a good
gosh,
boy.
that's such a good. Yes, he
such a
is. He is such a. He's a good boy.
He is.
Why did you say it like that?
What? I didn't say it like anything.
Nothing? Nah.
Lulu, I've known you for a long time. I know what that tone is, and I also know there's one character in the opening we haven't seen yet.
What? You're just imagining things.
Yeah.
Preemptively, I called it.
So I think it's pretty obvious at this point. Does the Ancient Magus Bride pass the vibe check?
Oh yeah.
We've already stated, you both have seen the whole thing, and I'm going to watch it within a week.
Look, I'm going to
Yeah.
continue rewatching it.
I'll probably
Yeah,
read the
yeah.
manga after that.
Hello,
Like,
Iron
I have
Blood.
to rewatch
Yes,
it before the
the
second.
dog.
The dog! Hi, Falcon. Hi, Moonshadow.
Merps
yeah.
for the Merp God. Okay, that could mean a lot of
Yes.
different things.
They would show up as soon as we start winding down.
Right?
Moonshadow is a oh dear God, a Sergal, and I guess that's a sound they make. It's merp 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 merp
Oh.
merp merp. I don't understand the Sergal stuff. But Moonshadow's art of her OC is very, very pretty.
Ooh.
Nice.
The person she gets to do it is beautiful.
Nice. So, any closing thoughts that we want to throw out?
Good anime was good. If you haven't watched it, I highly suggest to go give it a try.
Yeah.
If you guys found stuff or you want to talk about stuff that we haven't mentioned, leave a comment.
Comments are fun.
Engagement. Like the video. Click the bell. YouTube things.
Yeah, especially if you want to know when we go live next, because, like, I posted on Facebook, we posted it in Discord, but really the very best way is to hit like and subscribe.
No, hit the bell and subscribe.
That's what I meant.
Subscribe and hit the bell.
Do the
Yeah,
YouTube things that lets YouTube know you like our content, so YouTube will keep letting you know when our content is going to happen.
And theoretically, other people will also get to see the video because people are watching the video.
Supposedly that's how it works.
Algorithms.
That being said, next week we are going to be continuing on our theme of spooky season anime.
Mm-hmm.
Quote unquote.
It is my choice, and I have chosen an anime called
Do you need me to pull it up?
Shin Sakai Yori.
Okay.
It is actually an anime. In fact, it is a Crunchyroll anime. So is Magus Bride. So both of these anime can be found on Crunchyroll. I'm going to post a
I failed
link
this time.
to...
A cheese wedge.
I'm just
Why
going
don't
to
you
straight
leave
up...
it in a comment?
I will. I'll leave it in a comment, but I also am going to post the link right here as well. It is a supernatural thriller surrounding a group of children who have psychic powers.
Oh.
Sounds weird.
It was. But it's very strange. So the first time when I watched it, I was watching it with a friend, and he really, really liked it. I don't remember most of it, but it has left such an impact on me that I've never forgotten it. And I've always wanted to go back and watch it again with fresh eyes.
That's fair.
Hey.
And it's definitely a spoopy time anime.
By the way, Yami, this is a reminder.
Yes.
You have a week.
I have one that I've chosen,
Okay.
unless I choose something different. But I have one that I have tentatively. I've chosen. Yes.
See, I always feel bad because I have mine picked out so far ahead of time.
Don't feel bad. I'm a mess. Don't feel bad about that.
I mean, for the
Yeah, but I
record,
can't say that about you.
I was actually going to choose the anime that you have picked out this time, Sharko, but then I changed my mind and then you stole it.
I also changed my mind, remember?
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't remember, obviously.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I was going to pick Jujutsu for my next one because I get 2 in Spoopy Month. Because Jujutsu Kaisen is incredible and everyone should watch it.
I thought that's what you were choosing.
No, I'm choosing Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress.
Gesundheit.
You are the mess. What is Killing Bites?
I don't know, never heard of it.
I have not heard of it either. What is it? Give us some information as we wind down towards the end.
All I know is it's not on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
But also, just as a side note, most of us are not actually like looking for scary things for Spoopy Month.
Right.
Because horror anime is really hard to do well.
Yeah, especially considering some of the hard no's that we have in our lineups.
Yeah, there's a few.
Mm-hmm. Now I will go ahead. I will go ahead and say that the one that I am choosing, if I don't choose something else, if I don't choose something else, it's gonna be Yu Yu Hakusho.
That's
Oh,
fair.
It's about a ghost boy.
It's classic.
it
Yeah.
is a classic.
Yep.
And that'll be
what
a
if-
good use of does it still pass the
Yeah.
vibe check? Because I'm pretty sure we have all watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, an anime where people turn into animals and do a Street Fighter style battling. Their half human, half animal main protagonist. DNA is spliced with a honey badger.
Interesting.
There's a fighting game based on that. I can't remember what it's called.
Is it called Killing Bites? Because that would make a lot of sense.
No, it's definitely not. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna go start searching through weird stuff.
Sounds good.
Anyways, start doing the wind-ups.
Yeah, I mean that's realistically that's kind of what we've got left. We're going to be watching Shinsekai Yori for next week. If I will also be posting the link to it in the comments if anyone is interested. Oh yes, also we are always taking suggestions. So if there's an anime you would like us to talk about, feel free to leave that anime in the comments. We may not get to it the next week. We may not get to it the next month. If we look at it and go, we're not interested, we may not do it at all. But
Disclaimer: we may never watch it.
we will never
Free to
watch it
suggest things.
if you don't
By all
suggest it to
means.
us.
That's true. That's true.
Do we have anything else we really want to talk about?
Nope.
No? All right, well, in that case, once again, we are the After Work Anime Club. We review and judge anime based on the first 4 episodes of it. I am Lulu Soul. I occasionally do stream type things and can be found on social media under LUULUSOUL.
Oh, you nailed it.
Me. And I am Yami Brooke. Falcon. I'm sorry.
I got banned
I'm-
by... What is the last
No,
anime you
I
suggested?
have never banned Falcon. Falcon is trying to get banned.
Anyways, come on.
No, I
keep
gotta
going.
know. I gotta know. What was the anime?
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. That never happened. This
No,
is
he's
just
being
Falcon
gaslit by
being
chat.
Falcon. He's a troll. I love him.
Okay.
So I am Yami Brooke. I will be returning to Twitch for art and anime, not anime, video games, art and video games. In October, starting with my charity stream on the 22nd. And I am Mom.
Hi everybody, I'm Salvatore Shark. I don't stream. Any streams that I potentially do are lies. I play video games and I watch anime, and yeah, have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.